I don't even know what this is. What is this? This thing has been over on my little table for so long, and I don't even remember what's in here. I think they're props, but I made it literally like over a year ago. Do I just throw them away? Are you going to cooperate with me today? That's the real question. Sorry, are you going to cooperate? Hey guys, welcome back to another one. I come to you today in my finest Jaws t-shirt to film our August TBR. And there has been a change because while I was setting up for this video, we had an unexpected development, an unexpected find. But before we get into that, let's talk about what I read in July. So like I said in July, I still am clawing my way out of a very weird slump that results in me having to fight for the motivation to read. It's not even so much that I can't find a book I like, although that did happen a little bit, but it's mostly that I don't have the motivation to sit down and read. It's a very strange motivation slump is what I'm going through. And I don't think it's just reading. I think it's like a life slump because I'm going through it in other aspects of my life as well. Finding motivation to do things is difficult. But I still did make my way through 4 total books on our TBR, plus I am currently 52% of the way through That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. And my rule on this channel is as long as I've gotten over 50% through, it counts, especially since I have today and tomorrow left in the month. I'm filming this not on the last day of the month, so between today and tomorrow, I'm absolutely going to finish this book. Honestly, I probably would even have time to start and make it 50% through another book, but we're not going to put that much pressure on me. We're going to let me luxuriate a little bit. So I'm giving myself a total of 5 books read in July, which means this month we will be doing 5 spins plus our 4 wild spins for a total of 9 spins. So here she is. Here is our wheel. My eagle-eyed subscribers will pause this video and locate what has changed on this wheel, but they will not have any idea what it means, so let me explain. We do have a new wedge on the wheel this month, and that is that little pink wedge at the bottom that says TBR jar. What is that, you may ask? Well, while I was setting up for this video, which means while I was putting books away on my shelves, organizing, getting everything kind of like neat and orderly, because over the month and through the videos it gets kind of crazy, I located a jar. And here she is. This thing has been sitting over on my bookshelf table for over a year. I have a vague memory of making this, and I think I was going to do like a TBR jar video at some point, but I don't really remember the exact motivation for making this. I'm almost positive these are prompts inside of it that I just never made the video before. I have no recollection of anything that's in here. And when I was cleaning up for this video, I was like, maybe I'll just throw it away because like I nixed the video, like I never made it. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to use it. So I figured, why not incorporate this onto a new wedge in our wheel, only for a couple of months until these are gone, maybe? And then we'll take it back off. And then at least this got a little use because I spent my time to make it, and time is valuable. So why not use it? I also think it'll be kind of fun because I genuinely have no idea what's in here. So basically, if we spin the wheel and land on the TBR jar prompt, TBR jar prompt, I'm gonna have to get used to saying that, TBR jar prompt, we have to pick a prompt out of that little TBR jar, I guess, that I don't remember making, and see what it gives us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and randomize it and see what our wheel is going to look like this month. If it's not the furnace going off, it's the ice maker. I swear to God. Anyways, let's go ahead and randomize and see what our wheel is going to look like this month. Oh, very clumpy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if we land on the top or the bottom, it's wilds. Left or right, it's shelves. Okay, this typically means that we're either going to get a lot of shelves or a lot of wilds this month. Oh, I'm kind of hoping for a lot of wilds, but at the same time, last month it took me forever to find some prompts for these. Okay, let's not obsess about it. Let's just do spin number 1. Let's see what it's going to be. A character spin. Oh my gosh. If you're unfamiliar with our character spin, this is a wheel I made that has over 197 objects, characters, locations, etc. from my favorite series, Harry Potter, on it. I don't know why the wheel keeps deleting my words. It only has the pictures right now. Luckily, I know them all, but it keeps deleting like my labels, which I'm not really sure why. That's a problem for another day, but let's see what we get. Is it actually going to give me a good one? Actually, it wasn't too bad on me, the last challenge video. Pickett! Pickett! Okay, so Pickett is a Fantastic Beasts character. I have no idea what the prompt on this is for, so let me grab my phone and we'll figure that out. Scrolling down to P, G, keep going, H, M, N, P. Okay, Pickett. Okay, here it is, the Pickett prompt. Pickett, a bowtruckle companion to Newt Scamander who frequently had colds, required lots of cuddling, and had attachment issues. It is suggested due to his frequent colds that he may have had an immune issue. Read a book featuring a character with a chronic illness. A chronic illness. Oh my gosh, Fourth Wing would have been great for this, but obviously it's my favorite book, so, okay, so we always pick our wild wheels at the end. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but I guess that'll be a problem for later, so let's go to spin number 2. That is officially a good prompt because I think Pickett is adorable. If you've never seen Fantastic Beasts, go and watch just the first one. I'm not like a gigantic Fantastic Beasts fan, to be honest with you. Like, I will take the regular Harry Potter movies all day, but Pickett is very cute in Fantastic Beasts. So, okay, spin number 2. Hopefully we keep going with the wilds. What's it gonna be? Author last name. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen this wheel, this is our author first and last name wheel. In this particular case, we got author last name. It's pretty basic. We are going to randomize it, spin the wheel, and whatever letter comes up, we have to find an author with that last named letter. No, stop. Author last name V. Okay. We can do this. It's a wild. We will pick that at the end. Let's go to spin number 3. Okay, we're doing well on the wilds so far. An arc spin. Okay, I don't think this wheel has come up on our TBR, has it? Okay, so if you haven't seen this wheel, I created this. These are all the arcs that I've been sent over the last 2 years. Not all of them, but most of them. And these are the ones that I want to prioritize getting through. Now, some of the books on this wheel might have already released, but that's because it was probably sent to me a year ago and I just haven't had time to read them. But these are the ones that were sent to me as arcs. So let's go ahead, not that you can see it, and randomize it, and go ahead and spin. There are some really, really good books on here that I've wanted to get to. Long Live Evil. I have multiple copies of this book and I have never read it, but I was also sent it as an e-arc. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so now we are going to spin number 4, I believe. Okay, doing all right so far. Shelf number 7. I have no idea what shelf that is, but I do know you should get your earplugs ready because it's crazy angle time. It's crazy angle time. Doop de doop. It is crazy angle time for anyone who hasn't been here and just thinks that I'm a crazy person. The majority of my bookshelves are in my guest room in my in-law apartment. And what you can't see is right here is my guest bed. So I have to put the camera on top of the guest bed at the craziest angle, angled down to get to any of these bottom shelves. And so when that happens, we have to sing the crazy angle song because obviously, of course we have to sing the crazy angle song. So here we have shelf number 7. This is part literary fiction, part where my romance book starts. So we could either get lit fic or romance. Let's see if Suri is going to cooperate with me this month. Hey, Suri. Pick a number between 1 and 32.
A random number between 1 and 32 is 13.
13. Okay, so I think that's a romance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, okay. So we have to figure out if this is possible. So number 13 is Hunt on Dark Waters by Katie Robert. Is this the start of a new series, or is this interconnected with her like Neon Gods series? Because if this is, I can't read it because I haven't read Neon Gods, but I've been dying to get into Katie Roberts and I know that this is spicy. So let's do our research here. Okay. Hunt on Dark Waters, Crimson Sails, book 1. It isn't. Okay, it isn't connected. It's its own series. So we can officially put Hunt on Dark Waters on our TBR. That's actually really exciting because I've been wanting to try a Katie Robert for a really long time. I think I kind of always saw myself getting introduced to her writing in her Neon God series, but this one sounds really good as well, and she does really spicy writing, so I think that's going to work for me. Okay, so we are on spin number 5. This is our last spin before our wild spins. That's crazy. Okay, spin number 5. Shelf 24. That is a special edition shelf right here. So let me just shift the camera a little bit. Okay, so here we are at shelf number 24. Like I said, shelf number 24 is a special edition shelf. It is 99% fantasy and or romance. I think there is one that leans a bit more literary on here, but we're gonna say fantasy romance. There are 38 books on this shelf. Hey, Suri. Pick a number between 1 and 38.
A random number between 1 and 38 is 29.
29. All right, you're going to make me work for it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 29 is, oh my gosh, a TBR veteran. This is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I have been meaning to read this book, and honestly, I know this does have like a fantasy element, but this leans a little literary, I believe. Okay. Interesting. Suri really said, remember that goal you had of wanting to finish a bunch of your special editions because they've been sitting on your shelves and you've paid for them? Remember that goal? Challenge accepted. So let's go ahead and go to our wild spin wheel. Here she is, our wild spin wheel. All this is every single wild wedge off of our regular wheel, put on a wheel, we spin it, we do it 4 times. It's a great time. Sorry if my lighting is a little funky. The sun is going like in and out of the clouds, like very sporadically today. So, okay, here we go. Let's randomize our wheel and do 4 spins. What's it gonna be? Oh, family pick. Okay, this one might get a little complicated because my entire family is asleep. So I am the first one up and I am using the quiet of the day to record. So here's our family spin wheel. Basically what it is it has just what do I consider my family? My extended family, my family, and then all of my YouTube and Instagram subs. So let's go ahead and randomize. Actually, the best case scenario would be to get one of our subs right now because everybody else I know is asleep. So let's see what it's gonna give us. Aunties. Okay, so if you don't know, I have 4 incredible aunties and they're all probably asleep right now. And it's sometimes difficult to get them to choose the same book. So what I may do is ask them to pick a trope. We're going to have to figure this out. That's going to be a problem for like 30 minutes from now. So let's go back and do wild spin number 2. Of all the times to get a family spin, this was not the best time, let me tell you. I thought it was going to be our TBR jar. Oh my gosh. Okay, author first. Back to our author first wheel. And this time, instead of spinning for a letter that's going to be our author last, it's going to be our author first. Very complicated game, I know. Nuh-uh. Author last V, author first V. Okay, I mean, it's easy to remember. What are the chances? There's like a 1 in 26 chance of that happening. Okay, wild spin number 3. Oh no. Okay. I mean, we should just kind of assume that this is going to happen every single month. This is the emoji spin, and for anyone who has watched my TBRs in the past, you know that this is the wheel that gives me the most trouble because it has most of the emojis from the standard iPhone on it. Not all of them, but most of them. And it always gives me ones that makes me go like these crazy ways to make it fit a book. So let's go ahead and randomize her and spin and see what wacky emoji it's going to give me today. Although I feel like the last 2 times it hasn't been that bad to me. Boba. Okay, a T, a boba. I want a boba. Maybe I'll go get boba later. Maybe that's what the wheel is saying, that I should treat myself to a boba. Okay, separate. All right, but I think we are on spin 4. If not, we're doing an extra spin, I guess. So let's do one more spin. I think we're good. I think this is spin number 9. Okay, book box spin. Is it a book box spin? I didn't know where it was going to stop. Okay, book box spin. Here is our book box wheel. What this is a wheel that has all the names of the book boxes that I have paid for over the past 2 years and that I haven't read. And I should, because I paid for them. And they're gorgeous special editions that just sit on my shelves. So let's randomize it and spin. Okay, please like a Fairy Lou Illumicrate. Oh, okay. Afterlife. We've had this before. Okay, so Afterlife is Illumicrate's romance section. So it's a romance book. Okay. All right, let me go assemble my list. So here is our list of books that we now need to go and find. We need to find a character with a chronic illness for our Picket character spin. We need to find an author with the last name who starts with V. We need to find a family pick with my auntie's picking. We need to find an author with the first name V. We need to find a book that encapsulates or somehow incorporates the boba emoji. And then we have to pick an Afterlife book. Okay, that's not too bad this month, I don't think. The question is, which one do I do first? I'm thinking I should probably fire off a text to my aunties first because it is early and it might take them a while to get back to me, although not always. So let's go ahead and fire off a text to my aunties. Okay, so we have a aunties and Lindsay group text, which makes this very convenient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text them and say, quick, help. I'm filming my, whoopsie daisy, if I could type that would be great, my TBR video for the month, and my wheel came up for aunties to choose a book for me. Little smiley. First one to send me a number 1 through 45 chooses the shelf/wheel. Okay, that was sent. So if you don't know, basically what I've done is all of my shelves are numbered and then I've assigned a number to each of the wild spins. So whatever number they send me is going to be the shelf or the wheel that we're using. And then they'll have to, if it's a shelf, send me a number for the number of books on that shelf. We have a system since one of them is out of state and the others live across the state and it's early in the morning and I'm not going to make them drive all the way over here, you know? So while we wait for them to respond, I already got a response. Buddy is on it. My Aunt Buddy. Buddy says 32. Okay, let's see what that is. So she said 32. Let's go and look at what 32 is. And I will post up here so you know that I'm not cheating. Okay, I have 28 shelves. So numbers 1 through 28 would have been a shelf. But Buddy picked 32, which according to my key right here is a Kindle spin. Buddy, you're a real one. You're a real one. This honestly could not have worked out better because I am loving my Kindle lately. Buddy knows. She's got it up here. She just knows. Okay, it is randomized. Let's spin. Like I always say with this Kindle spin, there's like 1,400 books on here and you never know what nonsense is going to come up. Dungeons and Drama. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think this is, I don't know if it's spicy, but I think this is like a cute little nerdy based romance, which I'm all about. So Dungeons and Drama is going on as our Kindle spin / family pick. Thank you, Buddy. You're the best. So which do I do next? Okay, I think we should just bang out our author first name V, author last name V. So let me go and look on my shelves for that. So this actually ended up working out really well, and surprisingly, they are all on my Kindle. I did go through my shelves. I had a couple of options, but none of them were grabbing me the way these ones on my Kindle ended up grabbing me. So let's do author first name first. So for this one, I came up with 3 Kindle options. The first one I could do is Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This is book 2 after Red Queen. This is a cute little like YA fantasy. I mean cute as in like the writing. There are actually some pretty good stakes in this for a YA book, and I really did like Victoria Aveyard's writing in the first one. This is about a world that's separated by the color of your blood. So if you're a regular red blood, you're a commoner, and if you have silver blood, you're an elite. And our main female character, Mare, has been raised her entire life to believe that she's a red blood, but she finds out that she's a silver blood and she's trying to figure out why. Book 1 was, like I said, surprisingly good since I don't always love YA or I struggle to connect with YA. I didn't find that in Red Queen, so I do want to move on to Glass Sword. Okay, this next one I've seen going around BookTube and Bookstagram like wildfire lately, and that is Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. I honestly don't know much about this book, but I've seen a bunch of people I watch on BookTube read it lately and really enjoy it. It says forbidden romance blossoms between a mysterious woman and a brooding distillery owner, but her lies and his family's dark past threaten their newfound connection. I have heard the writing is great. I've heard it's kind of like grumpy, but that the tension is A+. And last but not least, I could do Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is V.E. Schwab's newest release. Now, I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is a standalone, and I read Vicious, which is her like paranormal thriller type of vibe, and I did like it. So you're asking, why don't you move on to book 2, which is Vengeful? Why are you skipping to one of her newer standalones? And the reason is because for some reason, this one is just intriguing me. I think about it all the time. It's been getting rave reviews from everybody who have read it, and I want to get in on the hype. This is a FOMO pick. It says it's about 3 women across different countries: Maria in 1532 Spain, Charlotte in 1827 London, and Alice in 2019 Boston face life-altering choices involving immortality, forbidden love, and revenge. I've heard this book described as 3 words: toxic, sapphic, vampires. So if I'm looking at our 3 options, like I always say, the first cut is always the easiest to make. And I think in this specific instance, the one I'm least excited about is Glass Sword. So I think that one's going to have to get the cut. And this is where it gets really, really tricky, because I equally want to read both of these books. However, I do not currently own any version of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, so I would have to buy it. And right now it's a new release, which means even the Kindle version is $14.99, and I've been trying to be better about my spending, and I know that one day this will go on a Kindle sale, so I don't really want to pay full price for it. So we are going to cut that and put Bourbon and Lies on our TBR for August, and I'm so excited to read it. Okay, so now for our options for author last name V. This one I did have 4 options, but one of them might be cheating. So the first book I'm putting on is Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen. Johanna Van Veen. This is a little bit of a departure for me because this is a horror book, which I don't read a ton of, but it's like a fantasy horror, so I think it might appeal to me. It says, in 1887 Netherlands, Lucy must uncover why her twin sister Sarah is transforming into something monstrous and hungry before it's too late to save her. I think her sister is institutionalized and then starts craving blood? Next up, I could do Ne'er Duke Well by Alexandra Vasti. This is a Regency romance. I don't know if this is adult or YA. It is adult. Okay, 345 pages, so I could read this really quickly. It says, a lady runs an erotic library and tries to find a duke a wife, but the chemistry between them is too strong to resist. That actually sounds really cute. Okay, really cute. Why does that intrigue me a little bit more than I thought it would? So this next one might be the one that's a little bit of a cheat. So comment below if you think I'm cheating. I could do The Flame King's Captive by Chloe Chastain. So then you're looking at this going, Chloe Chastain, that's not last name V. It isn't until you understand that Chloe Chastain is a pen name for Lilith Vincent, who typically does more dark romances. So I think because this one's more of like a fantasy romance, she did it under a pen name. So does that count? Because technically Chloe Chastain is Lilith Vincent? Question mark? So if we're saying it counts, it says this is about a sacrificial bride claimed by Zabriel, the Flame King, who protects her with his dragon while she investigates mysterious disappearances in her kingdom in this fantasy romance. That really doesn't tell me much. It says, I was a dead king's sacrificial bride until his murderer claimed me as his. Zabriel invaded my country of Maelden on the back of a monstrous fire-breathing dragon and took me prisoner. The lethal Zabriel towers over me in steel plate armor, and he could easily crush the life out of me. But the Flame King isn't interested in harming me. Instead, he destroys everyone who has hurt me in a storm of fire and vengeance. There's malignant rot deep within my country. My family has vanished along with whole villages of people. As I desperately try to find those who are missing, my body and heart awaken under a powerful and alarming force. Interesting. The Flame King's Captive is a slow burn, non-shifter, male-female romantasy set in a fantasy world of magic and dragon riders. Zabriel is jealous and a possessive hero, and Isabel is a strong but sweet heroine. It's a first book in the Fire and Desire series. Interesting. This basically intrigues me because it has a 4.2 stars, so people love it. And last but not least, another book that has been going wildfire all around Bookstagram and BookTube is The Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. I have seen nothing but good things about this book. However, not a ton of people have read it. I don't think it's gone as viral as Bourbon and Lies, at least not in my algorithm, but I've heard it's fantastic. It's 412 pages. And it says, she is the daughter of morticians studying botany at Trinity College, Dublin. He is her morbid anatomy professor, and the Fae are possessing the good people of Dublin. Only Atta and Professor Murdoch can exorcise the Fae, but can they fight their forbidden feelings for one another in the process? Interesting. And then it has some like plot points. It says 1990s Dublin, fairies, Professor MMC, dark academia, secret society, gothic mystery. Ooh, okay. So looking at my 4 options, the first cut is, I think, pretty obvious. I'm actually going to cut Blood on Her Tongue. After I read the synopsis, it sounds good, but I don't know that I want that kind of horror for August. I think for me, that would be really cool in like spooky season, right? Like the Burr seasons, like October, November. So I'm going to cut that one. The next one I'm going to cut is The Flame King's Captive because technically I am cheating on that one because even though it's Lilith Vincent, it's written by Chloe Chastain. And as much as I want to read it, the other 2 options fit the prompt better. Okay, I won't cheat. Hold my feet to the fire. So we have Ne'er Do Well and The Exorcism of Fairies. Ooh, okay. I want to read both of these. I think I'm going to do The Exorcism of Fairies. That was actually really tough because after reading that synopsis for Ne'er Do Well, I actually am more intrigued by it than I was going into it, but this one is ultimately just catching me and I am in a fantasy romance mood. So next up, I think we should pick character with a chronic illness, because this one is going to involve me delving deeper into the plot lines and doing a little bit of character research, which typically takes a while. I ended up finding so many options for this prompt, and I obviously can't put all of them on my list. I have to narrow it down, but I think a lot of these might interest you, or you might even relate to some of these characters. So I'm going to quickly go through all of them with the condition that the character has, and then I'm going to shorten it down into a shorter list. The first one is Archer's voice. The main male character does not speak. I think it's trauma related. There's also The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I don't think they ever put an actual name to the disorder, but there is some sort of mental illness that requires a caregiver. The Silent Patient has PTSD that causes a lack of speech. Rock, Paper, Scissors has face blindness, some sort of disorder where he can't identify faces. Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey has a female main character that has type 1 diabetes. Just Go With It has a female main character that has fibromyalgia. Also, Get a Life Chloe Brown has a female main character who has fibromyalgia. 7 Days in June has a female main character that suffers with chronic migraines. Chosen by the Villains has a female main character that has a heart condition that required a heart transplant, and she also, because of the transplant, has to do anti-rejection medication every day. The Match has a female main character who has epilepsy. The Friend Zone has a female main character who has uterine fibroids and I believe endometriosis. 99% Mine has a character with a heart condition. I don't believe they ever put a name on it, but it is a heart condition. The female main character in Real has lupus. A Curse So Dark and Lonely has a female main character that has cerebral palsy. Sorry if you can hear the water running in my washing machine. It's laundry day. But Love Theoretically has a female main character that has type 1 diabetes. Shucked by Kate Canterbury has a female main character that has epilepsy. This one is one I had never heard of before, but Covet the Night. It's a vampire dark fantasy romance, I believe, that has a character with acute myeloid leukemia. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I don't know if this counts. I've obviously never read it, but the main female character has no sense of fear or embarrassment, and I think it's like a social condition. And then last but not least, we have Two Twisted Crowns. This is the second follow-up book after One Dark Window, and the main female character in this hears voices and has visual hallucinations. So here are the 5 books that I narrowed our long list down to. I'm excited about these the most for multiple ways, but now comes the hard part of eliminating options. Okay, so the first elimination I'm going to make is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I read Part of Your World and I really liked it, so it's not that I don't want to read this. I'm just more excited about some of the other options. Next, I'm going to eliminate 7 Days in June. I just think that this one is going to be super emotional, and I don't know that I want to cry by the pool. And this is where it gets really tricky, because I want to read all 3 of these really badly. And I would put all 3 of them on my TBR if I thought I was actually going to read that many books, but the slump is still slumping. So, okay. I think I'm going to have to make the hard cut of Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I want to get into this series so badly because I've heard amazing things about it, but the other 2 are appealing for different reasons. So both of these are books that I have to get to for separate reasons. Archer's Voice is on my 25 and 25 list, and I've been doing a horrible job knocking books off of that list, so I would really like to try to do better at that. But there's a little bit of a personal motivation to choose The Silent Patient because my aunts recently my aunt came to visit from Maryland, my other aunts came to visit me, and while they were here, I don't know what happened because I've been trying to get them both to read with me for years, but something inspired them. I think they saw a book that just inspired them, and they've been starting their reading journey. They've been reading with our book club, but they've also just been reading like outside of it. And my one aunt, my aunt who is from Maryland, is super into mystery thrillers. Now we all know that that is not my jam. That is one of my least favorite genres. However, The Silent Patient is one that I have been intrigued with for years, and it was recently one of the books that I put up in our poll for August for the Homey and Homely book club's options to read together, and my aunt read the synopsis and was like, wait, I really want to read that book. Like, even if it doesn't get chosen, I want to read that book. So I think I'm going to choose The Silent Patient so that I can buddy read it with my aunties, because our other aunt is going to join in as well. If you now hear a bunch of kids having the time of their life right now, it's because my niece and nephew just stopped by and all those crazy people are out in the pool. So you're going to hear them playing. They're fine. They're having a blast. Okay, so now I think I am going to pick, let's do the book box Afterlife pick, because I think that one's going to be easier. I don't have too many Afterlife books. I was able to go through my shelves and find 4 Afterlife books with adorable sprayed edges, might I add. Let's talk about them and figure out which one we're going to end up putting on the TBR. So if you are unfamiliar with Illuminate's section called Afterlife, basically Illumicrate is like the bigger umbrella, and then they have like smaller sections underneath them that are more like niche, right? So I think they have, what's it called? Evernight? I think it's called Evernight, and that's like their horror books. And then they have Afterlife, which is more like their romance. And then Illumicrate and YA Illumicrate does more like fantasy romance, more or less. So Afterlife is going to be all romance books. So the first book I grabbed is One Last Shot by Betty Cayuette, is that how you pronounce her name? I don't know if I butchered that. Sorry, Betty. But Afterlife does all what I call, or what is called in the publishing industry, B format books, meaning they're the smaller hardcovers as opposed to like the taller standard size A format hardcovers. So these are all really cute small books. They have beautiful sprayed edges, and then they always have character art on the inside. And then Afterlife is known for doing gorgeous digitally printed hardcovers, naked hardcovers. So that's beautiful. I know next to nothing about what this book is about. So it says, a supermodel and a photographer with a past marriage pact meet again 10 years later on a photo shoot in Cinque Terre, Italy. So I know that this takes place on like an Italian summer. So this might be a good choice for August. Next Afterlife book I could choose is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This edition is so adorable. Look at the chess sprayed edges. So pretty. And then it has the alternate cover with the naked hardcover that has a quote from the book. It says, I see the way you look at the pieces. It's your world, isn't it? The one you choose for yourself, well within your boundaries. You can be the queen in it, the king, the knight, whatever you want, with the chess pieces. No artwork on the inside though. That's a little odd. Okay. So this is one of Ali Hazelwood's YA books. I think this is good for ages 14 and up. It's recommended by. It says it's about a former chess player reluctantly returns to compete, defeating world champion Nolan Sawyer. As she rises through tournaments, romance develops amid family complications and competitive pressures. Also, I could do my favorite Afterlife edition I think I probably ever got, because I just think it's so dang adorable. I could do Cross the Line by Simone Saltani. I love the sprayed edges. Are you ready? Look at the little race cars. I love those. And they go up onto the top and the bottom as well. I just think that's the prettiest edition. And then it has the character art that looks like Instagram posts on the inside with the cutest naked hardcover. I just think this edition is adorable. It like makes me more excited to read the book. And I know that's silly, but it does. This one says, a Formula One sports romance about a driver and his best friend's little sister where they try to keep things professional despite their old feelings and chemistry. So this is like a best friend's little sister. And next up is a book that I've actually chosen on a TBR before, and I've shown this edition before, so I'm not going to waste too much time on it. But that is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is a golf romance. I've had a complicated relationship with Tessa Bailey, but this edition is really beautiful. So it has the golf-themed sprayed edges, really beautiful, and then it has the character art on the inside and the Wells Bells foiled naked hardcover. It says, grumpy pro golfer hires his biggest fan as his caddy, sparks fly as they travel together, and he rediscovers his game. All of these editions are beautiful, but if I'm looking at my 4 options, I think the first one I'm going to eliminate is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I'm just not in the mood for like a YA chess romance right now. It's just the one that's gripping me the least. I also think I'm gonna to eliminate Fangirl Down. Like I said, I have a strange relationship with Tessa Bailey. She does, in my opinion, very like slapstick, stupid main female characters in her romances. And I'm like, I have to be in the right mood for that, because if I'm not, they just end up frustrating me and I think they're dumb and they make me cringe. So I'm not in the mood for Tessa Bailey right now. So that leaves us with One Last Shot and Cross the Line. So because this is my favorite edition that I have, I really want to choose it. However, I feel like Cross the Line is a book that I could read like all year round. It doesn't really have to do with a season. So for that reason, I think I'm going to go with One Last Shot by Betty Kayette, because I know that this is going to be a book that I'm going to want to read in the summer. And now for the biggest challenge every single time this wheel comes up on the TBR, and that is our emoji pick. So I have to find a book that somehow incorporates or espouses the boba emoji. I don't even know where to go with this. So like boba, tea shop, boba shop, cafe, something like that. I'm also thinking for me, like cozy boba cafe, cozy tea room, something like that. So let me go and pick through my shelves and my Kindle and see what I can find, because I know I have some cozy tea inspired books. Whether or not they're specifically boba, that's yet to be seen, but let's see. Guys, I think I might have done it. I just spent the longest time picking through my books, and I am shocked to tell you guys that I think I have 4 pretty solid options, one of which kind of blew my mind, and I don't even remember having this, but I do. I don't know why I have this, but I do. So I'm going to save that one for last, because similarly to last month, I found a book that I think just perfectly espoused the emoji. I think I might have gotten pretty close on this one too. I'm giving myself like pats on the backs, like severe pats on the backs, because this one was difficult. This is a very obscure boba. So let's talk about the 4 options that I found. Okay, the first option I can go with is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. This cover is just stunning. It's beautiful. And it says it's about a young girl competing in a tea making contest to save her sister's life, navigating treacherous rivals and uncovering shocking secrets. And it's book 1 in the Book of Tea series. So if you scroll down further, it says, for Ning, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her. The poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister Shu. So very heavily tea themed. I could also go with A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. This is book 1 in the Blood and Tea series. I do actually have 2 versions of this. I think I have a Fairy Loot version somewhere up there, and then I have the regular hardcover, but I'm too lazy to go grab it. So this says it's about an orphan criminal mastermind running an illegal vampire blood house. When threatened, she must infiltrate a powerful vampire society with a crew of outcasts, uncovering a dangerous conspiracy. So it says, on the streets of White Roaring, Arthi Casimir is a criminal mastermind and collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal blood house by night, catering to the vampires feared by society. But when her establishment is threatened, Arthi is forced to strike an unlikely deal with an alluring adversary to save it. She can't do the job alone. So our main character owns a tea house. Next up, I could also do The Crescent Moon Tea Room. I have this on my Kindle. I do not remember getting this, but it says 3 sisters, each with unique magical abilities, face a family curse that threatens to separate them. As they navigate their individual paths, they must also work together to challenge their destinies and rewrite their future. It says, ever since the untimely death of their parents, Anne, Beatrix, and Violet Quigley have made a business of threading together the stories that rest in the swirls of ginger, cloves, and cardamom that lie at the bottom of their customers' cups. Their days at the tea shop are filled with talk of butterflies and good fortune, intertwined with the sound of cinnamon shortbread being snapped by laced fingers. That is, until the Council of Witches comes calling with news that the city diviner has lost her powers, and the sisters suddenly find themselves being pulled in different directions. As Anne's magic begins to develop beyond that of her sisters, Beatrix's writing attracts the attention of a publisher, and Violet is enchanted by the song of the circus, and perhaps a mischievous trapeze artist threatening to sweep her off her feet. It seems a family curse that threatens to separate the sisters is taking effect. Interesting. And then there's like a review, and it says, a delightfully sweet and cozy novel that's as comforting as a warm cup of tea. So I'm getting very cozy tea room vibes. And then Imagine my surprise when in my search, I'm searching tea, I'm searching cafe, I'm searching this, I'm searching that. And I go, you know what? On a whim, let me just search through whatever I have for boba to see if anything pops up. And one book pops up. The Demon World Boba Shop. I have a book called Demon World Boba Shop. Do I remember getting this? Absolutely not. Don't remember it. It's probably been sitting there for years. But the point is, I have a book called Boba Shop. What are the chances? I'm telling you, I have a book for everything. I swear to God. This says, Arthur, a man who never knew the comfort of home, finds himself reborn in a demon world and discovers the joy of forming friendships and belonging in a vibrant community. Arthur didn't plan on being reincarnated to a world full of demons, but after the initial misunderstandings were cleared away, he found himself exactly where he wanted to be, in a world that was nice. It doesn't take long before a community of friendly demons forms up around Arthur, helping him find his place in this new world. With each bubble that rises in his tea, Arthur rises too, learning to love, to belong, and to truly live for the first time in 2 lifetimes. Demon World Boba Shop. So here's our 4 options, but do I even need to eliminate? Because I think I have to choose Demon World Boba Shop, right? Like, I think I have to. I don't even remember having this, but it's Boba Shop. So we're going to put Demon World Boba Shop and hopefully it works out. Leave it to the emoji wheel to give me a challenge like that, but I rise to the challenge. You will not defeat me, emoji wheel. And here are at least the physical books plus a bunch of Kindle books that we will be putting on our TBR in August. Let's do a quick recap. Spin number 1 had us spin the Harry Potter character spin wheel, gave us the pick it prompt, which told us we had to pick a book that had a character with a chronic illness, and I am going for The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This book is about a woman who shoots her husband, kills him, and then never speaks again. And since then, she has been held at a psychiatric institute in Grove, in North London. It's called The Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. It says that our main male character is a criminal psychotherapist who is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband will take him down a path more unexpected and more terrifying than he ever imagined. I will be buddy reading this with my 2 aunts, and I'm very excited to see what we think because this book has been on my shelves forever. Spin number 2 had us spinning the author last wheel, and we had to find a book that had author last name that starts with V, and I am going with An Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. This is a dark academia romance set in 1990s Dublin with fairies, a professor main male character, and secret societies in a gothic mystery. Spin number 3 had us spin the arc wheel, and it gave me Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. Now, I do have this on my Kindle as an ebook, but this is the gorgeous Fairy Loot edition, so I figured I would bring it out. It has the beautiful stained glass sword artwork. It says Longing for Revenge with this beautiful character work on the inside. And of course, the foiled hardcover. So I figured I would break this out. This says it's about a dying woman entering her favorite fantasy world, becoming the villainess. She must unite other villains to rewrite their doomed fates. And then on the back of the book, it says a story for anyone who's ever fallen for the villain. Our 4th spin sent us over to shelf 7 and picked Hunt on Dark Waters by Katie Robert. Like I said, she does very spicy books, but it says a stern captain meets his witchy match in this captivating first fantasy romance novel in the Crimson Sails series. It says a witch with sticky fingers gets rescued by a telekinetic pirate captain. As attraction grows between them, her planned betrayal of his magical seafaring crew could doom them both. Like I said, I turn all the fans and stuff off when I'm filming down here, and it's like 100-something degrees out today. I'm pretty toasty right now, guys. I'm toasty, and I'm fighting the urge to turn the fan on. Spin number 5 sent us over to shelf 24 and gave us The Unmaking of June Farrow. This is the Fairy Loot. It is Fairy Loot. The Fairy Loot edition as well. We're knocking a bunch of Fairy Loot books off of our shelves. Look at this gorgeous character work. Beautiful character art. I'm assuming a foiled hardcover as well. Gorgeous. This says a woman risks everything to end her family's century-old curse, solve her mother's disappearance, and find love in this mesmerizing novel from the author of Spells for Forgetting. In the small mountain town of Jasper, North Carolina, June Farrow is waiting for fate to find her. The Farrow women are known for their thriving flower farm and the mysterious curse that has plagued their family line. The whole town remembers the madness that led to Susanna Farrow's disappearance, leaving June to be raised by her grandmother and haunted by rumors. It's been a year since June started seeing and hearing things that weren't there, so she's getting the curse as well. Faint wind chimes, a voice calling her name, and a mysterious door appearing out of nowhere. The signs of what June always knew was coming. But June is determined to end the curse once and for all, even if she must sacrifice finding love and having a family of her own. I've heard really great things about this book. Spin number 6 was our first wild spin, and we got a family pick that said that our aunties needed to help us choose our next book, and they chose Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. This is a little YA romance that says it's about an aspiring Broadway director fake dating a gamer guy to revive the school musical, unexpectedly enjoying his world of role-playing games. Obviously, a little Dungeons and Dragons inspired. For spin number 7, we got author first name and also got V. I don't know what the chances are of that, but we're going with Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. It says, in Fiasco, Kentucky, there is one rule: never fall for a fox brother. Any woman who did ended up dead, or so the rumor goes. Townies call it a curse, but I've lived it and I won't survive it again. I'm not a cop anymore, but I've seen enough danger to know that Lainey Young, the beautiful stranger who just showed up in my small town, is running from it. She's lying about where she came from and what she's doing here. I don't want her near my family or the quiet life I've made for myself, but my brothers have other plans. Now she's everywhere, working at my distillery, living in our guest house, calling me cowboy and skinny dipping in my horse trough. Ew. But it's the way she dishes out attitude from that pretty mouth of hers that has me wanting things I've sworn to myself I'd never want again. Next up, we got our pesky emoji wheel, and we had to pick a book that incorporated the boba emoji. And we are going with Demon World Boba Shop, a cozy little boba fantasy. Who would have thought? Our last spin, but not our last book, was our book box spin, and we had to pick an Afterlife book, and I'm going with One Last Shot by Betty Cayuette, which I'm probably butchering. This says, a debut romance about... Oh, so this was her debut. A debut romance about a supermodel and a photographer with a past marriage pact who meet again 10 years later on a photo shoot in Italy. From the moment Emerson and Theo met as teenagers, they were inseparable, but just when they finally expressed their feelings to one another, they were torn apart. Now, supermodel Everson is nearing her 28th birthday, and she's tired of looking for love in all the wrong places. When the calendar reminder for the marriage pact she and Theo made as teens goes off on her phone, she realizes this is it, her chance to rekindle the only romance that ever really made sense. Emerson convinces her grumpy agent to book her as the face of the fashion campaign that Theo, now a fashion photographer, is shooting. The good news is the campaign is being shot in ridiculously romantic Italy. The bad news, Leo might not be as happy to see her as she'd hoped. Sounds adorable, and definitely something that I would want to prioritize reading in the summer. And last but not least, we have the Homey and Homely book club pick for August. If you don't know, I run a completely free book club on the Fable app called the Homey and Homely book club. Every single month, we vote on a genre and a book to read together in the next month. I break it down by the chapter and we go through every single chapter together. It's just a really fun way to interact. It's always linked in the description down below. So if you want to download the Fable app and join, like I said, it's free and fun, and I love interacting with everybody. So this month we voted to pick a TBR veteran, and what that means is a book that's been on my TBR before and has been on my shelves for a really long time. So I gave them 4 options, and Beartown by Frederick Bachman won. I am so excited. I've been seeing everyone talk about this recently. It's an older book. I think this was written in 2014-ish. It's been on my shelves forever and I've been wanting to get to it, although I think I may cry. It says, a tiny community deep in the forest, Beartown hasn't been the best at anything in a long time, but down by the lake stands an old ice rink, and in that ice rink, Kevin, Amat, Benji, and the rest of the town's junior ice hockey team are about to compete in the national semifinals, and they actually have a shot at winning. All the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. Under that heavy burden, the semifinal match becomes the catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized and a town in turmoil. Jesus. This is a story about a town and a game, but even more about loyalty, commitment, and the responsibilities of friendship, the people we disappoint even though we love them, and the decisions we make every day that come to define us. In this story of a small town forest, Frederick Bachman has found the entire world. I have heard this is sad but beautifully written, and I'm so excited to read it with the 500 members of our book club. So that's it, guys. Another TBR down, another 10 books picked. What a great TBR for August. I feel like every single month they keep getting better and better. If you have made this entire way, comment the camera emoji for our photographer character in One Last Shot which is sounding more and more intriguing to me the more I think about it, and the more perfect pool summer read. If you've read it, comment below and let me know if it does give like good summer vibes, because it sounds like it would be. And then comment the camera to show me that you've made it this entire way. After that, do all the things that you guys are so professional at doing, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.